Your closet is full. You've got clothes, lots of them. But here's the problem. Some of those pieces are quietly aging you, making you look dated, making you look stuck in another decade. And the thing is, you might not even realize which ones are the culprits. Today, we're going through 13 specific items that are screaming, I haven't updated my wardrobe since 2010. And more importantly, we're showing you exactly what to replace them with. Modern pieces that look current, elegant, and absolutely flattering. Some of these might surprise you. This isn't about chasing trends or trying to look younger. This is about looking current, polished, like the sophisticated woman you are, not like you're stuck in a time warp. Let's dive in. Number 1. Ultra skinny jeans, especially the ones with those little zippers at the ankle. Now look, I know this one's controversial. Some of you love your skinny jeans. But hear me out. These had their moments. Around 2012 to 2016, they were everywhere. But that moment has passed. The proportions feel old now. And those ankle zippers? They're like wearing a timestamp that says, my style peaked in 2014. Fashion has moved on. We're seeing more balanced proportions now. And frankly, that skin-tight leg showing every single curve, it's not the most flattering choice for most of us over 60. So what do you replace them with? A straight leg jean or a slight boot cut? These create a cleaner, more elongated line. You still get a sleek look, but it's not painted on. And go for a higher rise, much more flattering, much more current. The hem should hit right at your shoe. Maybe a slight break. That's it. That's modern. Brands like NYDJ, Page, even J. Crew, they're making great straight leg jeans right now with enough stretch for comfort, but they're not clinging like skinny jeans. Trust me on this one. Make the switch. You'll look more current immediately. Number 2. Those oversized fleece pullovers and those puffy fleece vests you've been living in. I know, they're comfortable, they're warm, they're easy, but they're making you look frumpy. They add bulk right at your midsection. They cut you in half visually. And honestly, they scream suburban moms circa 2008. Now, if you're wearing a sleek fitted vest as part of a professional outfit, that's different. I'm talking about those thick, bulky fleece numbers that have seen way better days. Replace them with what? A tailored wool blend cardigan, a modern puffer vest in a streamlined silhouette, a structured jacket with clean lines, or honestly, a really beautiful merino wool cardigan. These give you the same warmth, but they make you look pulled together, not like you just rolled out of bed. And here's the thing. Layering pieces should add style, not bulk. They should define your waist or create a long, elegant line, not add width across your middle. Number 3. Jeans with bedazzled or embroidered back pockets. Remember when those were everywhere? Rhinestones, elaborate stitching, sequins all over your back pockets? Yeah, those need to go. They screamed in the early 2000s when they were happening. And they're definitely screaming outdated now. All those embellishments draw attention directly to your backside, and not in a flattering way. They look costumey. They look desperate, honestly. What you want instead, clean, simple back pockets, minimal stitching, no hardware, no bling. The pocket should be placed and sized to flatter your shape, but it shouldn't be the star of the show. It's not a billboard. A dark wash with subtle pocket detailing. That's timeless, that's sophisticated, it goes with everything and never looks like you're trying too hard. The best back pockets are slightly angled, positioned to create a subtle lift. Proportional to your frame, that's all the detail you need. Number 4, those thick, heavy platform sandals, the ones with cork or wood wedges and way too many straps. These are stuck in the late 2000s. They're visually heavy, they make your feet look chunky, and they have this very specific aesthetic that just reads dated now. Everything's too thick, too clunky. The proportions are off. Replace them with sleeker wedges, block heel sandals with minimal straps, or even a sophisticated flat sandal in quality leather. The key is refinement, clean lines, quality materials, proportions that don't overwhelm your foot. And here's a tip: a nude or metallic sandal in a modern silhouette will do more for your wardrobe than 10 pairs of trendy dated shoes. Invest in quality over quantity here. It's worth it. Number 5. Those short cropped shrugs and boleros, the ones that end above your natural waist. Time to let them go. They create a horizontal line right across the fullest part of your torso. They cut you in half. They make you look shorter and wider. And honestly, they serve no purpose. They don't keep you warm. They don't create a flattering silhouette. They're just there. Replace them with cardigans that hit at your hip or below, or structured blazers that define your waist without chopping you in half. A boyfriend-style blazer you can wear open, a long-line cardigan that creates a vertical line. These are so much more flattering and current. See the difference? One makes you look shorter and boxier. The other elongates and flatters. Easy choice. Hey, quick pause. If you're finding this helpful, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe now. I post videos like this every week, style tips specifically for women over 60. What to wear, what to skip, how to look absolutely fabulous at our age. Your support really does help me keep making these videos. Alright, back to our list. Number 6. Number 6, cold shoulder tops. Those tops with the cutouts at the shoulders. This trend needs to stay in 2016 where it belongs. They were everywhere for a hot minute, and they've aged terribly. They look gimmicky now, and those cutouts, they create really unflattering lines on mature arms. The cutouts draw attention to an area many of us are self-conscious about. They interrupt the line of your shoulder in this awkward way. Plus, good luck wearing proper undergarments with them. What do you want instead? Classic silhouettes with interesting necklines, a beautiful boat neck, an elegant V-neck, a sophisticated square neckline. These give you visual interest without the gimmicks. Look for tops with great fabric, good structure, timeless details, maybe some ruching, some draping, subtle asymmetry if you want something different. But skip the cutouts, they're done. Number 7, and this one surprised me too. Those big, chunky, beaded statement necklaces, especially the ones in bright colours, the large turquoise beads, the chunky wooden pieces. They had their moment, but that moment has passed, and now they feel costumey instead of chic. Jewellery has shifted. We're seeing more refined sculptural pieces now, more understated elegance. So what do you wear instead? Invest in 1 or 2 quality pieces with interesting shapes but refined execution. Sculptural gold hoops, a delicate layered chain set, a single statement piece in brushed metal. The current vibe is less is more, but make it interesting. Delicate doesn't mean boring. It means refined, elegant, timeless. Your jewellery should complement your outfit, not compete with it. When your necklace is the loudest thing you're wearing, something's off balance. Now, if you have expensive or sentimental chunky jewellery, you don't have to toss it. Just wear one piece at a time. Pair it with very simple modern clothing. Context is everything. Number 8, the tunic and leggings uniform. Now, before you come for me, I'm not saying you can never wear this combination. I'm saying it's become the default I don't know what to wear outfit for too many women over 60. And it's become a bit of a cliché, especially when the tunic is oversized and shapeless and the leggings are worn out and faded. It can look uninspired, like you've given up a little bit. What works better? A more structured top with straight leg pants or jeans. Or if you love tunics, wear them with slim ankle pants in a real fabric. Ponte knit, structured cotton, cropped trousers. The goal is to create intentional outfits, not default uniforms. A fitted turtleneck with straight-leg trousers looks polished. A structured tunic with tailored ankle pants looks chic. Now, leggings are fine for the gym, for running errands in actual athleisure, under a dress. But as the foundation of your everyday outfit? As the thing you wear on repeat? Time to evolve. Number 9. Low-rise anything. Pants, jeans, skirts. If it sits below your belly button, it's not doing you any favours. Low-rise creates muffin top. It makes your torso look long and your legs look short. And it's uncomfortable. Why would we voluntarily choose that? We went through this trend once. We learned our lesson. We're not going back. High-rise is where it's at. And this is non-negotiable. High-rise bottoms define your waist at its narrowest point. They create the illusion of longer legs. They smooth your midsection. And they're actually more comfortable. They stay in place. They don't dig in. You're not constantly adjusting them. Every bottom you own should be mid-rise at minimum. But high-rise is ideal for most of us. When you try on pants, the waistband should sit at or just above your belly button. That's your sweet spot. That's what flatters me. Does this change alone? It'll make you look 10 pounds lighter and 2 inches taller. Number 10, bags plastered with logos, LV all over, Coach C's everywhere. Any obvious designer logo screaming for attention. They're reading dated. And a bit try-hard, if I'm honest. Luxury has changed. The aesthetic now favours quiet luxury. Quality materials, impeccable craftsmanship, designs that don't scream for attention. What do you want instead? Bags in quality leather with minimal or no visible branding. A beautiful structured tote in buttery leather. A sleek crossbody in a classic silhouette. A sophisticated shoulder bag in a neutral colour. These will outlast any logo trend. And they look more expensive, honestly. A logo-free quality bag says, I know what I like and I don't need to broadcast it. That's confidence. That's modern sophistication. Now, vintage or heritage pieces with subtle logos can still work if they're in excellent condition and the logo is understated. But if it's plastered all over, time to move on. Number 11, and I need to be specific here because I recommended bootcut earlier. I'm talking about traditional bootcut jeans from the 2000s, the ones with very square flat back pockets and that specific flair. There's a huge difference between a modern, subtle bootcut and those dated versions. The old ones have too much flair, those square flat pockets, and they often sit too low on the hips. What you want now? Jeans labelled slight bootcut or kick flare. Much more subtle, much more refined. The pocket should be shaped and angled, not square and flat. The rise should be higher, and the silhouette should be straight through the hip and thigh with just a gentle flare from the knee down. Not a dramatic bell-bottom effect, just a gentle flare that balances your proportions. If you're not sure whether your boot cuts are modern or dated, look at the pockets. Square and flat, dated, shaped and angled, modern. Number 12. Shiny athletic wear worn outside the gym. Those shiny track pants, reflective windbreakers, glossy athletic tops. They belong at the gym or on an actual run, not at brunch. The athleisure trend made us think we could wear workout clothes everywhere. But shiny technical fabrics read as, I just came from the gym, even when you haven't. Even when they're clean, they just look sweaty. Do you want comfortable casual clothing? Fine. Choose elevated athleisure in matte fabrics, a ponte knit jogger in black, a soft cotton hoodie in a neutral colour, a structured athletic jacket without the shine. There's a big difference between athletic wear, for working out, and athleisure, for living your life comfortably. Learn the distinction, dress accordingly, and remember this. Matte fabrics always look more sophisticated than shiny ones when you're not actually exercising. It's a small detail that makes a huge difference in how polished you appear. And number 13, graphic tees with dated sayings or references. That shirt from your 2008 vacation, the one with an old slogan. Anything with outdated pop culture references. Graphic tees can be fun, they can be expressive, but when they're referencing things from 15 years ago, or the printing is cracked and faded, they make your whole outfit look dated. If you love graphic tees, invest in a few current ones. Minimal designs, timeless graphics, a simple striped tee, a solid colour tee in great fabric, or a graphic tee with classic non-dated design, simple typography, abstract designs, classic band tees if you must, but make sure they're new or in excellent condition, not faded and cracked. And here's how you wear them without looking too casual. Pair a modern graphic tee with tailored trousers and a blazer, or tuck it into a midi skirt with ankle boots. You create a high-low mix that feels intentional and current. But honestly, a plain white tee in perfect condition is infinitely chicer than a dated graphic tee. Sometimes simple is the most sophisticated choice. All right, bonus tip. Because I know some of you are looking at your closets right now thinking, but how do I know what else is outdated? Here's a simple test. Pull items out and ask yourself these 4 questions. 1. Have I worn this in the past year? If not, it's probably outdated or doesn't fit your life anymore. 2. Does this reflect who I am now, not who I was 10 years ago? We change. Our clothes should too. 3. Would I buy this today if I saw it in a store? Be honest. If the answer is no, why are you keeping it? 4. Does this make me feel confident and current? Not just comfortable, confidence. If the answer is no to any of these questions, it's probably time to let it go, even if it still fits, even if you spent good money on it, even if it's in perfect condition. It's okay to let things go. It's actually liberating. So now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 13 items hit home? How many are hanging in your closet right now? Be honest, no judgment here. I had at least 5 of these myself before I went through my closet. Drop a comment below, tell me which ones you're guilty of keeping. Tell me which one you're most shocked to learn is outdated. And if you disagree with any of these, I want to hear about that too. Sometimes there are exceptions to every rule, and I love learning from your experiences. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Updating your wardrobe isn't about spending a fortune. It's not about completely starting over. It's about making strategic swaps that instantly modernize your look. You don't have to replace everything at once. Start with the items you wear most often, the jeans, the jacket, the shoes, and gradually refresh your wardrobe. Quality over quantity, always. The goal here wasn't to make you feel bad about what's in your closet. It was to empower you to make choices that serve you right now, at this stage of your life. Sometimes replacing just 2 or 3 key pieces can transform your entire look. We've earned every one of our years. We deserve to look as fabulous as we feel. And that means dressing for who we are today, not who we were decades ago. If this video opened your eyes to what needs updating, give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend who might need this reality check too. And definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Next week, I'm showing you exactly what to replace these 13 items with. Specific shopping recommendations, how to style them, where to find them. You're not going to want to miss that. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, style evolves, and so should we. There's no shame in updating what's not working anymore. Until next time, stay stylish.